In an orphanage, among the many that existed everywhere, stood a dark and desolate place. There lived Eloá, a little 8-year-old orphan, whose face bore the weight of abandonment and loneliness. Eloá was an unattractive child. His manners were harsh and rude, repelling others and causing antipathy even in the teachers. Therefore, the girl lived in a high, imposed exile, with no one to play with, no one to talk to, and share her sorrows and joys, lacking affection and hope. Her only company was the shadow of loneliness that surrounded her. The director of the orphanage longed for a legitimate opportunity to get rid of her, a pretext to justify her exclusion. And then, one day, came up with what seemed like the perfect excuse. Eloá's roommate reported that she kept clandestine correspondence with someone outside the orphanage, a strictly forbidden transgression. Just now, the informant said, she hid a piece of paper in a tree. The director and his assistant could scarcely conceal the satisfaction with which the denunciation had given them. "It's time to clear this up once and for all," the director declared, with a hint of disguised satisfaction. He asked the witness to the crime to accompany them in order to show them the proof of the crime. Together with his assistant and the witness to the alleged infraction, they made their way quickly to the tree, where the message would be hidden, and there, among the branches, rested a delicately placed piece of paper. Anxiously, the director unfolded the paper, hoping to find the evidence he craved to get rid of that child so unpleasant in his eyes. However, to his surprise and dismay, the words written on the crumpled paper were completely different from what he expected whoever found this paper. "I like you." The three were surprised, and at the same time disappointed by the revelation. Disappointed because they had missed the opportunity to get rid of this unwanted girl, and surprised because the simple written message revealed a profound truth. The girl was not as bad as they believed. In fact, they realized that she was less evil than themselves. It was at this moment that Eloá, who had watched the scene from a distance, with a mixture of fear and expectation, approached, if timidly. "I can explain," she said, holding a small flower she had found on the way. The headmaster looked at her with disdain, but something in that child's frailty stirred a prickle of curiosity in his hardened heart. "Explain then," he ordered. As the assistant and the witness watched in silence, she took a deep breath. His choked words came out in a hesitant whisper. "I just wanted to make someone happy. I know no one likes me here, but I didn't want anyone else to feel that way." Tears welled up in the girl's eyes as she spoke, and the silence that followed was not even broken. The warden felt a lump in his throat. A mixture of compassion and regret swept over him. He approached the girl and, with a hesitant gesture, took the flower she was holding. "You deserve to be loved, my child," he said, surprising everyone with his kind words. And at that moment, within the cold walls of the orphanage, something has changed. A seed of compassion was planted, and the promise of a brighter future began to bloom. In the lonely girl's heart, the headmaster began to reflect on her conduct. He realized that perhaps he had been too harsh, that his own rigidity had contributed to this child's isolation. This story highlights the importance of not judging people by first impressions, and to recognize kindness, even in the least expected situations, despite their appearance and behavior undesirable in the eyes of others. The orphan girl showed kindness in her heart. In chapter 16, verse 7 of the book of Samuel, the Lord said to the prophet, "Do not look to his appearance or to his height, for I have rejected him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. Man sees the outside, but the Lord sees the heart." In a world that is often guided by the superficial and appearances, we are called to see the law,